If you want to make sure you choose the right physical therapy school or PTA school for you, yes, you specifically, not anybody else, not your friends, but for you, then here are the 5 things I want you to consider when choosing a PT or PTA school. Number 1, cost. 2, location. Number 3, accreditation. 4, clinical or internship rotations. And number 5, when you can take the board exam. Number 1 is cost. Physical therapy school and education as a whole is a product/service. And just like anything else out there, there are less expensive products and services, and there are very expensive products and services. So you need to figure out how much you want to pay or are willing to pay for physical therapy school. Now that's the first part. The second part to this is how much are you expecting to make or willing to put in the work to make as a physical therapist. And that all can be considered into how much would be a smart decision for you to spend on physical therapy school. So for example, let's just say when you're a physical therapist, you just want to be a physical therapist, a staff physical therapist, you want to work at an outpatient clinic or a hospital for the rest of your life, and you don't mind making $82,000 for the rest of your career. That's it, no extra nothing. Then I highly suggest you go to the lowest cost physical therapy school out there. The lowest cost ones right now are like 40-ish, 45 to 50, depending on your state, maybe a little lower and all that stuff. But I highly suggest you getting scholarships, saving up money, and going to the lowest cost physical therapy school out there. Now, if you plan on making much more than $82,000 a year as a physical therapist or having income throughout your lifespan, then going to a slightly more expensive school could work out for you. I would still suggest you try and go to the lowest cost physical therapy school out there. But if you go to a school that's $82,000 or even $100,000, if you end up making $1 million every year for your full-time income, physical therapy, you have real estate, you have a side hustle, you have another business, you partnered up with somebody, and you're bringing in $1 million a year, that's $100,000 of physical therapy school. If you use your skills to make more money with it and advance your lifestyle, has paid off. You got a return on investment. Next one is location, because location plays into how much you're most likely going to spend outside of just the physical therapy school tuition, because that plays in your cost of living. So the cost of physical therapy school is one thing, but you also have to spend money on your life while you're a physical therapy student. So the cost or the location plays into the cost of living. Number 3 is accreditation status, and that is important because you need to have graduated from an accredited or almost accredited physical therapy school to sit for your board exam to be a licensed physical therapist. Now, if you don't know what that means, the accreditation status, if you don't know what that means, I have many other videos on it. Just type that into whatever social media platform you're watching this on, and you'll find my videos on it. Number 4 is clinical rotations or internships. That's very important to me. That's the most underrated aspect of physical therapy school, because that's where you'll be learning the real world aspect of what it means to be a physical therapist. When you're in lecture, when you're sitting in class, you're learning the book smarts of it. You're learning the science of it. But when you go out on your internships and clinicals, you are then learning the art of physical therapy. So that's going to have a huge impact on how you practice, especially early on in your career. Clinical internships also have a huge effect, in my opinion, on how much you enjoy your physical therapy school and how much you are going to spend on physical therapy school. Because if you get to choose where you want to go, you're going to love your school and love that they helped you be able to choose where you want to go. And also, if you are able to choose where you want to go, you can decrease on cost or increase on cost if you want, as opposed to being forced to go somewhere or only being able to go somewhere because those are the only clinical internship spots they have. Lastly is the board exams, the National Physical Therapist Examination. So this is important because many schools have different rules around when you can take this NPTE. And depending on when you can take that board exam can have an impact on how fast you make money as a physical therapist. Some schools will let you take it before you graduate. Let's just say you graduate in May and the board exam is given at the end of April. Well, some schools will let you take the board exam at the end of April, walk across the stage and graduate in May, and now you are a licensed graduated physical therapist. Some schools will not let you do that, and the next board exam won't be until July, or you can push it back to October. So if you graduate in May, you are then not working in May, June, July, then it takes a little bit for your license to come in. Let's just say August. You are then missing out on 4 months of a physical therapist hourly rate or salary. and they're costing you that money just because they said, no, our students cannot take the board exam early. So consider those 5 things when choosing a physical therapy school so you can choose the right one for you. If you need more guidance to become a physical therapist or PTA, DM us the word physical therapist and we'll send you our free PT school acceptance guides.